An EF5 tornado. The words themselves send shivers down the spine, conjuring images of unimaginable destruction. A force of nature so powerful, so capricious, it can obliterate entire towns in a whirlwind of fury. For Los Angeles, a city bathed in sunshine and sculpted by earthquakes, the threat of a tornado seemed distant, almost mythical. Until now. This wasn't Oklahoma or Kansas. This was Los Angeles, a metropolis more familiar with the Earth's tremors than the sky's wrath, but the impossible had become reality. An EF5 tornado, the most violent storm on Earth, was bearing down on the city, ready to unleash its fury upon millions of unsuspecting souls. The day began like any other in Southern California. The air was thick with humidity, a stark contrast to the usual dry heat. By midday, the sky transformed into a canvas of ominous gray, the clouds swirling with an unnatural speed. Meteorologists watched in disbelief as weather models, normally reliable, flashed warnings of an impending supercell thunderstorm, a rarity for the region. This wasn't just any storm. This was a monster, fueled by a unique combination of atmospheric instability and wind shear. The air crackled with static electricity, a palpable tension gripping the city. Little did anyone know, the very fabric of their lives was about to be torn apart. The first sign of trouble came as a familiar, high-pitched wail, the tornado watch. It was a sound that had become all too familiar in recent years, a harbinger of nature's fury. The city of Los Angeles, known for its sunny skies and mild weather, had been experiencing an unusual uptick in severe weather events. This time, however, the warning felt different, more ominous. Across the city, televisions flickered with emergency broadcasts, urging residents to seek shelter. Smartphones buzzed with alerts, each one more urgent than the last. The city's emergency services were on high alert, coordinating efforts to keep the population safe. Social media was abuzz with updates, photos, and videos, as people shared their experiences and sought information. An uneasy feeling settled over Los Angeles, a collective holding of breath. The skies, once clear and blue, had turned a menacing shade of gray. The wind picked up, rustling leaves and sending debris skittering across the streets. People looked up, their faces etched with worry, as they tried to gauge the severity of the approaching storm. Then, the siren screamed again, this time with a sense of urgency. The sound was piercing, cutting through the noise of the city and sending a clear message. Danger was imminent. People stopped in their tracks, their hearts pounding, as they realized the gravity of the situation. The city's usual hustle and bustle came to a halt as everyone braced for what was to come. The tornado watch had escalated to a tornado warning. This meant that a tornado had been sighted or indicated by weather radar, and it was time to take immediate action. The city's residents, many of whom had never experienced a tornado before, were now faced with the terrifying reality of a natural disaster. Panic began to set in as people scrambled to find shelter. The storm was close, the threat imminent. Dark clouds loomed on the horizon, moving swiftly towards the city. The air was thick with tension, and the smell of rain and ozone filled the atmosphere. People watched in horror as the sky darkened, knowing that they had only moments to find safety before the storm hit. Fear gripped the city, sending people scrambling for safety. Streets that were once filled with the sounds of traffic and chatter were now filled with the sounds of footsteps and frantic voices. Families rushed to gather their loved ones while others sought refuge in the nearest building. The sense of urgency was palpable as everyone understood the need to act quickly. Basements, bathtubs, interior hallways, anywhere that offered even the illusion of protection became a sanctuary. People huddled together, their faces pale with fear as they waited for the storm to pass. Parents held their children close, whispering words of comfort while others prayed silently for their safety. The city, usually so vibrant and alive, had become a place of refuge and fear. But this storm was different. It had an intensity that was unlike anything the city had ever seen. The clouds swirled ominously, and the wind howled with a ferocity that shook buildings. It was as if nature itself was unleashing its full wrath upon the city, and there was little anyone could do to stop it. As the sky turned a sickly shade of green and the air grew heavy with the smell of ozone, a new warning blared through the city, the tornado emergency. This was the highest level of alert, reserved for only the most catastrophic events. The message was clear. This was not just another storm. This was a life-threatening situation that required immediate action. This was the highest level of alert, reserved for only the most catastrophic events. The city's residents, already on edge, were now faced with the terrifying reality of a tornado emergency. Panic spread like wildfire as people realized the severity of the situation. The sense of dread was overwhelming as everyone braced for the worst. The unthinkable had happened. A massive tornado was about to strike the heart of Los Angeles. The city's skyline, usually a symbol of progress and resilience, was now under threat from one of nature's most destructive forces. As the tornado approached, it became clear that this was a moment that would be etched into the city's history forever. The people of Los Angeles could only hope and pray that they would survive the storm and emerge stronger on the other side. The monster descends, a city torn asunder. The sky darkens and the air grows heavy with anticipation. A sense of dread fills the hearts of the city's inhabitants as they look up to see the swirling menace approaching. It began as a distant roar, a guttural growl that sent chills down the spines of those who heard it. The sirens wailed, a desperate warning to seek shelter, but for many, it was already too late. The tornado was a beast, a force of nature that could not be tamed or outrun. Then, it was upon them. The wind howled like a banshee, and the sky turned an eerie shade of green. People ran for their lives, their faces etched with terror as the monstrous funnel bore down on them with relentless fury. The tornado, a monstrous funnel of blackened debris, slammed into the city with the force of a nuclear blast. Buildings shuddered and groaned under the immense pressure, their foundations giving way as the storm raged on. The sheer power of the tornado was beyond comprehension, a reminder of nature's unyielding might. Skyscrapers, once symbols of human achievement, crumbled like toys before the relentless wind. These towering giants, built to withstand the test of time, were no match for the fury of the storm. Glass shattered, steel bent, and concrete was reduced to rubble in a matter of moments. Palm trees, synonymous with the California dream, were uprooted and tossed aside like twigs. The lush greenery that once lined the streets was now a chaotic mess of broken branches and splintered trunks. The tornado showed no mercy, tearing through everything in its path. The tornado carved a path of destruction through the city, leaving behind a scene of unimaginable chaos and devastation. Streets were unrecognizable, buried under debris and wreckage. The once bustling urban landscape was now a desolate wasteland, a testament to the storm's wrath. Cars became projectiles, homes were reduced to splinters, and the air was thick with the deafening roar of the storm and the screams of those caught in its path. The tornado's fury spared nothing and no one, leaving a trail of heartbreak and destruction in its wake. As the storm finally moved on, the city was left to pick up the pieces, forever changed by the monstrous force that had torn it asunder. Dust and despair, picking up the pieces. As quickly as it arrived, the tornado was gone, leaving behind an eerie silence punctuated by the moans of the injured and the sobs of the bereaved. The once vibrant city lay in ruins. Dust and debris choked the air, obscuring the sun and casting a pall over the devastated landscape. Where once stood towering structures, now lay mountains of rubble. Streets were impassable, littered with the mangled remains of vehicles and shattered glass. The smell of gas and smoke hung heavy in the air, a grim reminder of the power of nature's fury. But amidst the destruction, a glimmer of hope began to emerge. Voices from the rubble, stories of survival and loss. In the wake of the disaster, the air was thick with dust and despair. Yet, amidst the chaos, there were glimmers of hope and resilience. People from all walks of life came together, united by a common goal: to find and save as many lives as possible. From beneath the wreckage, stories of survival began to emerge. Each rescue was a beacon of hope, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Survivors, covered in dust and debris, were pulled from the ruins, their faces etched with a mix of relief and disbelief. The rescuers, driven by sheer determination, worked tirelessly, often risking their own lives to save others. A young couple, huddled in their bathtub, shielded their newborn baby with their bodies as their home collapsed around them. Their story is one of many that highlight the lengths to which people will go to protect their loved ones. In another part of town, a family huddled together in a storm shelter, holding onto each other as the world outside was torn apart. Parents, driven by an instinctual need to protect, shielded their children from the horrors unfolding around them. A group of office workers, trapped in a collapsed parking garage, used their cell phones to call for help and guide rescuers to their location. Their quick thinking and calm under pressure saved their lives. They communicated with rescuers, providing crucial information that led to their eventual rescue. These stories of ingenuity and bravery are a testament to the human capacity for survival in the face of overwhelming odds. Each tale, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Communities came together, offering support and solace to those in need. Strangers became friends, united by shared experiences and a collective will to rebuild. The strength and resilience displayed by these survivors serve as a powerful reminder of the human capacity to endure and overcome. But for every story of survival, there were also stories of profound loss. Families mourned the loss of loved ones, their grief palpable and heart-wrenching. Memorials were erected, honoring those who had perished. The pain of loss was a stark contrast to the joy of survival, a reminder of the fragile line between life and death. Families torn apart, dreams shattered, and lives extinguished in an instant. The devastation left behind was a testament to the destructive power of nature. Personal belongings, once cherished, lay scattered amidst the rubble, silent witnesses to the lives that had been irrevocably changed. The tears of those left behind spoke volumes, a poignant reminder of the human cost of such disasters. The human toll of the disaster was immeasurable, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the indiscriminate nature of tragedy. As people walked through the destroyed neighborhoods, the scale of the devastation became painfully clear. Yet even in the face of such overwhelming loss, there was a sense of determination to rebuild and move forward. The stories of survival and loss serve as a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring hope that, even in the darkest of times, we can find the strength to rise again.